Okay. Okay, great. So today, we have Illinois Wesleyan here to talk to you all. We have Mr. Andrew Starnes. He's the Director of Transfer and Regional Admissions at Illinois Wesleyan. Many of you all will have gotten Illinois Wesleyan admittance on your green light match. So he's going to give us some information. And, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Andrew, you can take it away.
All right, sounds good. Well, good evening, everybody. And thank you, Kathy, for the wonderful introduction there. Like I said, I'm the transfer regional director, and also for mainly all the students at the Southeast, your main admission counselor. So a little bit about me. I do live in East Tennessee, so I'm close to Knoxville, and I have the entire Southeast United States, including the great state of Texas. So I do make my rounds out that way. In fact, I will be in the Houston area coming up on Sunday for a few days for some big college fairs all throughout the week. So who knows, our paths might cross at some point. Houston is probably my favorite city to go to in Texas, because there's not many places that you can get amazing barbecue, Asian food, and Buc-ee's all in the same place. So that's always a good enough stop for me, and especially with this heat getting out of there. So definitely ready for fall to be here for everybody. So I definitely look forward to spending the next few minutes here with you, talking a little bit about Illinois Wesleyan, what makes it unique. We might already have some potential green light match students. We just had a ton of students get connected from the Houston area just in this last round, and probably suspect plenty more coming up in the November, or actually the batch next week in October. So it'll be busy times for sure. Go ahead and dive on into Illinois Wesleyan. So we are located in Bloomington, Illinois, about 2 hours south of Chicago itself. We actually rank top 10 nationally in job placement, government data. And then our students usually lead the way in the state of Illinois for salary after graduation. So we like to think, we're going to not only help you get a great job, quality one, right after graduation or to grad school, whichever path that you want to end up pursuing. Our school size itself, 1,600 undergrads roughly total. So we are a smaller liberal arts private school, 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio. So you're not going to see the extremely large campus or tens of thousands of students. We've actually got more of a medium-sized campus, about 80 acres, 17 students on average. You're not going to see the stadium-style seating that you might see at your larger universities through your first year's class. Our classroom size, a lot less lecture, more discussion. About 17 students in the classroom on average, as I mentioned, 14 in labs. So just quality interaction that you would expect from a smaller school, and just really making sure that you get a chance to stand out in class, really interact with your peers, and get your questions answered by faculty. Bloomington itself has about 130,000 people, so it's not Metro Houston big, but Chicago is in our backyard. So obviously still connections to one of the biggest cities in the world, which is nice, but there's still plenty of fun things to do. Bloomington itself is an amazing college town because we have our school, we have Illinois State University, so they've got about 20,000 students. So between our two schools being a few minutes apart, we put a lot of college students in the town through each semester. So there's always things going on. A lot of amazing restaurants, a lot of Chicago-based restaurants have worked their way down to our area. Tons of outdoor activities, fun things to do. Restaurants, coffee shops, different sports venues, you name it. There's always something going on for someone. So that's where you go to us. It's smaller town, but not middle of nowhere America. Plenty of things going on at any given time. So our school itself has several different schools and colleges. We're definitely known for some of our big ones, and the biggest are definitely going to be our School of Business, which we now have School of Business and Economics. Our fine arts, our STEM health science programs are the ones that really tend to stand out for students all across the area, especially in Texas with our fine arts. We usually get several theater students, for example, every year in the Houston area alone. And that's one thing that really just is one of our unique areas that really makes us stand out. We have our professional degrees in acting, music, art. We have just incredible, stellar audition opportunities, fine arts scholarships going into consideration there. For those that are looking for our business programs, I mentioned ranking top 10 nationally in job placement. We do so many things, connections with State Farm Insurance. They're headquartered in our community, so that it's a huge area of industry that our students are actively involved in. Tons of different small businesses, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies through Bloomington, all the way up to Chicago. So there's always things to get involved in. We push internships, and that's one reason why our students, 97% of our recent graduates are either enrolled in a grad school or in a job. So we do a lot of things to make sure we're going to help you get to the next part of your life. Our School of Nursing, Health Sciences, we have a direct admit nursing program. We have an incredibly stellar pre-med track. Obviously, as you can imagine, a lot of health sciences tied to biology, biochem. We have neuroscience. That's one of our unique programs for a school our size. 80% acceptance rate on average for our students into med school. So that is one thing that if you're thinking about going to med school or any dental, pharmacy, whatever it might be, definitely check us out on that side for sure. And then our College of Liberal Arts contains the other majors that are at our school that have all kinds of different incredible backgrounds: social science, environmental studies, physics. There's so many different unique majors that we offer, again, at a smaller size, that are very popular, especially for those students that are seeking these type of degrees in a smaller atmosphere than a larger state or tech school. We do have a unique calendar. So we do offer a unit system at our school, 4 credit hour long classes. So that means that our students are usually taking 4 classes only a semester, 16 credit hours. And that means that you're at not only full-time, but above. And that's really good because our students are graduating on the 4-year cycle. That's what we want to see happen. And that's why usually around 90% or more of our graduates are graduating in 4 years, which is exciting. So that way it helps you minimize as much debt as you can, and then help you get onto your next stages of life as well too. And then also really helps flexibility for double majoring, major minoring, whatever the situation might be that you're wanting to use for your experience. We do have our May-term experience too, which is an incredible opportunity for study abroad, an extra class if needed, to get caught up or to get ahead, whichever way you'd want to go. Study abroad, if that's something that you already know you want to be a part of, that's amazing. If you haven't thought about it, you definitely should, because study abroad opportunities are incredible. Great way to see the world, learn about new culture, whatever it might be. Nearly half our students will take advantage of that. We have exchange programs, different parts of the country, and frankly, the world, Oxford University being one of them. And really, about 70 different countries at any given time, our students at any point throughout the year. So even though we're a smaller school, we really are not limited on where our students are going to study abroad. And that May term is a great opportunity, just because, again, smaller experience for expenses, but then also allows students that are involved like in athletics or fine arts that have obligations throughout the year to help them get away and see part of the world too, which is exciting. Now at our school, we definitely take a lot of pride in our DEI initiatives, both in admission and the campus culture as well. So we're always striving to become a more inclusive campus and university throughout the entire process, top to bottom. And we've made big changes with that going forward since about the last 4 or 5 years. So with the opportunities with test optional and different other various backgrounds, we've had some of the most diverse classes in our history, including this last class that just came in. And we know we're already off to a great success. And frankly, even the direct admit programs like Niche and Greenlight that are helping us reach students that may have never heard about us before, which is so exciting for that opportunity. But we offer, for different support systems of students of color. We have about 33% of our student population, students of color background, over 40 different countries, over 30 different countries around the world, 40 different states here that are represented on campus. Texas being one of them. Texas is one of our top out-of-state states, which is always exciting and keeps me certainly busy with my territory as well. And just so many different ways that we want to allow students of all backgrounds to feel that IW could be a great place. And not only culturally, but also even financially as well, too. So that way we could do everything we can to help students of different backgrounds all throughout the way. We've got a whole website devoted to this section alone if you want to get some more information about how you might be able to fit and connect at IWU. Our campus life, over 120 different student organizations. We have the Greek life, we have study abroad, as we already talked about. We have intramural sports. We just have so many different ways for you to connect. And our Office of Residence Life encourages students to really try 3 different things their first semester. So that way it's a good kind of sweet spot so you don't get too burnout, overwhelmed, but not doing anything. So that way they're encouraging you to join a club, go see a sporting event, rush, whatever it might be. That way you're going out, meeting new friends, a lot of like-minded individuals, and then learning a lot about yourself and other backgrounds and cultures that you may have not gotten to see before. So there's just so many different cool things to be able to do on campus to really make you feel at home. We have over 24 different varsity sports. We just added a couple new ones with wrestling and bowling as well. So we are very strong and prideful in our athletics. We're very successful. We have your traditional game day atmospheres, as you can see from the pictures. We have your football, we have your basketball, we've got all your big opportunities. So the school spirit is extremely high. We love painting the town and campus green and white. So we do take a lot of pride in our athletics. We also have an esports team as well, too. So that's always something that's exciting for our students to potentially get recruited for gaming, and they can actually get potentially a scholarship opportunity, which is really neat for their background as well. Just some of our stats, as I mentioned, about our graduation time frame. We are an undergrad only campus, so we have no grad students. That makes us a little bit unique than your average college. So that's really welcoming for students that already know they want to go into grad school, because that means you're going to get a ton of research opportunities with your faculty, get to go out to conferences, get to maybe even get some publication, scholastic journals in that area as well, too. All these things look great when you're looking to go into resume building background to get into a grad school. So that's something that we can really help make happen at our background. Now, for the financial aid piece, I always tell everyone, don't be intimidated by the fact that we're a private school or we're an out-of-state school. First, we do not have an out-of-state cost. It's the same cost across the board for Illinois students as it is for students in Texas. So our typical average out-of-cost pocket for families, and this is after financial aid is awarded, and also includes everything but books, is around $28,000 for the year. And that is your tuition, that's your room and board, and that's your meal plan. So that's everything included. As you talk with colleges and universities, sometimes they'll give you a certain price. A lot of times it might just be tuition. And the next thing you know, you turn around and all of a sudden now you got a separate housing fee. Now you got a separate meal plan. Now you got a separate parking ticket. Our financial aid director loves to say, we're not going to nickel and dime. We're going to be very straight up with our total cost. And that's what it typically is for our average family. And we do merit scholarships. So our students that are admitted, whether that's through Greenlight or just a traditional application, will get a merit scholarship. They actually just increased it. So it is up to $36,000 renewable now. And that is based on GPA scores and test optional track. Test optional track does allow students to get admitted and also receive their scholarship. So we keep that as a very level playing field throughout the entire opportunity. And the good thing is, all we ask is that you get admitted, you provide us your FAFSA, and then once that happens, we'll get you your proposal, and then I'll follow up with you individually to make sure you got it, make sure you understand it, go over questions for you and your family. So that's one thing that we just love to do to make sure we're doing everything we can, because we know cost can be a barrier to education. And we certainly want to do everything we can to help break that down. And at the end of the day, it may not work out for everyone, but there are certainly times that a lot of students are pleasantly surprised by what we can do to make the school as affordable, sometimes even more than a student may think that we can. We are on the Common App. So students are applying, as mentioned already before, through Greenlight program, the Common application. We have our standard application as well, all free, no app fee, which is always great for students. As I mentioned, we are test optional. We are in early action period, so we are starting to slowly release students' acceptances for the fall. We will have a big majority of acceptances to go out through the month of November into early December for our early action. And then our regular decision admissions will go through the spring. So we always encourages everyone to try to get ideally admitted by late March into April at worst case. So that way we can get you everything you need to make your final decision, which we always encourage families by May 1. So there is no early cutoff period for us for both acceptance or scholarships. We're very flexible in working with students all the way through. The other factor too is visiting the campus. Obviously, I know that we're a little bit away from the Texas area, so naturally, a lot of students that are coming up from Texas are flying. We do a travel voucher, so for accepted senior, you can actually potentially, well, if you are an accepted senior, you will get a travel voucher if you need one and request one. And that can offset your travel airfare ticket by half or up to $200. So all you have to do is be admitted, and then you would then ideally get your plane ticket. And then once you visit, it could be for a campus visit, it could be for an open house, whatever it might be. All you'd have to do is give me the receipt to your airfare, and then we'll be able to send you a check to offset some of that travel cost to come up to the campus. And, whether you come up individually, we do campus visits Monday through Saturday. We could tailor them, as you can see, sitting in class, having some cafeteria food on campus, whatever it might be. That's what we want to make sure that we incorporate on that side. We have amazing food on campus as well, too. Several different eatery options on campus. We also have incredible residence halls that we just actually got done revamping and refurbishing our freshman first year living expenses and experiences. So that's always exciting for students to have newly designed first year residence halls, apartment style, suite style, and Greek life housing all on campus as well. And we do have some big open houses coming up, one next week and then one into November as well. One of the best ways to stay in touch is always through social media. We're very active on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, always great ways to be able to stay in touch on that side. And then my contact information is up at the top left right here. So my email, always a great way to reach out, but that is my work cell. So if you ever had a question, you are welcome to call, text, email, whatever you prefer. So that way I can help you out through the entire process. So we try to keep things very streamlined, very, very easy to get a decision. Really, once you ideally apply, all we would need would be a copy of your high school transcript and your ACT, SAT scores if you plan to submit your scores, or again, the test optional pathway can kick in as well. So any of these opportunities, we'll go over with them individually and make sure that we do everything we can to take good care of you through the process. So that is all that I had for my presentation. Kathy,